What's up, everybody? Today we are checking out the pros and cons of moving to Torrance, California. So today we are looking at the pros and cons of moving to Torrance, California. I've done videos on this in the past, but I figured I'd make another one on it because many of the people that are finding this channel are moving here and, they haven't been looking at the channel for a long time. So if you are new to the channel, I am Shane Inman. I'm a local real estate agent in the Southern California area, specifically the South Bay. So if you're looking to move to the South Bay, I'd love to help you get started in that journey. Feel free to call, text, or email me and get started anytime. This is what we're going to look at today is Torrance, and is it the right fit for you? All right, and the first pro for moving to Torrance is just the community and activities and things to do within the area. Just last weekend, I went to it's Christmas time, and they had a big Christmas event going on at the Redondo Pier. So, obviously Redondo's next town over, but everything's very close. So if you like getting outdoors, there's a lot to do here. And so checked out the Redondo Pier. They had Mickey and Minnie Mouse for my daughter to go and see, and they had lots of arts and crafts stuff going on. And then also this week, with it being Christmas, they've got the Christmas tree lights section of Torrance, and so you can go walk or run or drive around the Christmas tree lights homes and check out all of the lights that are put on throughout those neighborhoods. So yeah, if you're somebody that likes community events, likes being outdoors, there's a lot to do within Torrance. All right, and so along those same lines of community and things to do, just outdoor lifestyle here. You've got the beaches, you've got trails, everything is very close by. You've got Palos Verdes, where you've got lots of horse trails to go hiking or walking or running. You've got the beach. Torrance Beach is at the end of the Strand, and then it goes all the way north, and you can go to Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, all the way up into Santa Monica. So there's a lot you can do on a bike ride or just spend the day at the beach. So if you're someone that likes to be outdoors, Torrance could be a good spot for you. And the next reason you might look at moving to Torrance is just the variety of styles of living. Whether you're looking for a bigger home, whether you're looking for a single family residence, a condo, a townhome, duplex, or just apartments, there's a lot of different options throughout Torrance. And there's so many different neighborhoods to check out. And so Torrance offers a variety of styles of living. You're going to see many homes that were built in the 50s and 60s that maybe have a smaller footprint. But then you're also going to find homes that have been completely remodeled from the ground up and maybe have great ocean views or are a walk to the beach, or maybe it's a home that's just got a very large footprint and a lot of interior space, or maybe it's a home that is a condo or a townhome. So lots of styles of living here, and so whatever you're looking for, you can probably find something similar to it in Torrance. Are you thinking of moving to the South Bay? Then you're going to want our relocation guide. So click the link in the description to download that for free, and you'll have everything you need to know before moving here. And the next pro for moving to Torrance is the climate. If you're someone who does not like the freezing cold and does not like super hot, Torrance is probably a good spot for you. We do get some windy days or some foggy days where the fog's coming in from the ocean up over the hill. But yeah, if you're moving somewhere like Texas or somewhere in the South where it's super hot and humid, you're not going to feel like Torrance is a real hot place. I do get that reaction quite a bit when people move here because many of the homes don't have air conditioning in them, and so people are like, oh, I have to find a house with air conditioning. There's no way I could live without air conditioning. But if it never gets hot enough to need air conditioning, then, it's not as much of a necessity. And, there are a few weeks throughout the summertime, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, where if you don't have air conditioning, you've got to pull out a portable fan or just a split unit attachment to your house. So there are options if you do have those 1 or 2 weeks in the summertime where it gets super hot. But for the most part, it's sunny and 75 all year long. And the last reason you might consider moving to Torrance is for the schools. So there are a wide variety of schools. There's 4 public high schools and 1 private high school, as well as all the feed into those schools, middle school, elementary schools. So you hear quite often people say that they did their research on different schools throughout the area and chose to move to Torrance because of those schools. Check out niche.com and different ranking systems and see how Torrance ranks for you and if it fits within what you're looking for. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons a lot of people are looking at moving to Torrance. All right, and we'll go ahead and start off with the number one con for why I think a lot of people are not considered moving to Torrance and the South Bay or Southern California in general is just the cost of living here. It is expensive from a housing perspective. You may be able to afford a home here and say, okay, I see there's 10 homes within the price range I'm looking at, but they may not be what you're looking for. So, as I mentioned before, homes might have been built in the 50s and 60s and they may not have been updated since then, or they may have had minor updates. They may have a smaller footprint. They may have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and you may want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or they may have just an older style and feel to it. And then they're still going to be likely over $1 million. You may have homes that fit into your price range, but they may not be what you expect. So that's kind of the number one thing I tell people when they're looking at moving here is kind of make a list of wants and needs and understand that it's not going to be the same things that you might get somewhere else. You may get a 3,000 square foot home for the same price as a 1,200 square foot home here. So it's just something to keep in mind that you might have to lower your expectations or change your expectations and really prioritize, okay, gotta have a home that has 2 bathrooms, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or have a home that has a yard, or need to have a home that's at least 2,000 square feet. So you're just gonna have to do some gives and takes, I think, for a lot of people when they're moving here based on location, based on size, based on outdoor space versus interior space. So just do your research and figure out what things are really important to you and then prioritize those in your search. Hey guys, so as much as I love making these videos, what I really like even more is helping families move here. So if you are thinking of moving to the area, I would love to help you get started in your search, and my contact info is on the screen or down in the description down below. Feel free to reach out anytime, call, text, or email. Remember, it's never too early to get started in your home search. And the next con for moving to Torrance is one that I do actually notice quite a bit. If I'm headed to the freeway, it may take me 15 minutes just to get to the freeway. And then on top of that, you've got the 405 and jumbled up traffic everywhere in Southern California. If you are somebody that needs to commute outside of the South Bay, Torrance may be difficult to get to the freeway, depending on where you're at in Torrance. Because, you've got North Torrance, South Torrance, West Torrance, Old Town Torrance, and each one's going to have a different distance to the freeway, but keep that in mind if you are someone that needs to go to work in Long Beach or downtown or Santa Monica or different areas throughout Southern California, that might be an added distance to your commute. So I always tell people to, look at the times that they're going to need to be going to work and put those times into the map and see what the traffic is like during those times and if it works with their schedule. All right, and the next con for moving to Torrance or really anywhere in this area is the natural hazards. And it's different in every area. Like if you go to Florida or somewhere out in the south or that area, you're gonna maybe deal with hurricanes. Or maybe you go to Kansas and there's tornadoes. Here in Southern California, the things that you hear about the most are earthquakes and fires. And earthquakes, I'm not as concerned about. I mean, yes, they happen and the big ones do cause a lot of damage. I have been in some of the bigger ones that happened. I lived up in Northern California when the San Francisco one happened that was really big. So they are a concern, but they're not as much of a concern as fires. And fires have become more and more of a problem here. So that's something to consider. Although, we're close to the beach, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not at risk to wildfires. We just had the fires up in Malibu and into Pacific Palisades and all that area, which is near the beach. And so you do have the fires kind of all throughout. And so that is something to be aware of. But yeah, you just have to be alert and do your research and know what areas might have more risk for natural disasters compared to other areas. All right, so those are some of the pros and cons to moving to Torrance. If you're still interested in moving to the area, love to help you get started in your search. Feel free to call, text, or email me, and we can get started on finding you your home.